Greetings from inside Lindsey Nelson Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. Riley Duncan here, where the Tennessee Vols are getting set to take on their in-state foe, the ETSU Buccaneers. On the mound for the Vols tonight is going to be their sophomore right-hander Hunter Martin, and for the Bucs, they'll throw their freshman righty Ryan Simpler. Riley Duncan here, standing inside Pratt Pavilion where the Tennessee basketball teams practice. The men's team will have a new head coach this year, as was announced today that Rick Barnes, the former Texas Longhorns head coach, will take over for Donnie Tyndall, who was fired last week for NCAA violations committed at his previous school, Southern Miss. Rick Barnes landed his first signee this morning when Ray Kasongo signed the dotted line. Kasongo is a 6'10 power forward from the JUCO College of Southern Idaho, but he's originally from Canada. Barnes has had success with Canadian big men in the past. Just look at Tristan Thompson, who played under Barnes at Texas and is now the power forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers. For Journalism 365, I'm Riley Duncan. The Tennessee Volunteer Secondary likes to call themselves the Orange Swarm. They want to be buzzing around the ball at all times and making plays all over the field. Here's more on one crucial part of that unit.
Sophomore safety Todd Kelly Jr. is a Tennessee legacy. His father, Todd Kelly Sr., was a standout defensive end for the Vols in the early 90s. Kelly, though, says his focus is on the present.
You know, it's a great privilege that, our fathers and cousins and whatnot played for the University of Tennessee. We take great pride in that. But now that we're here, we want to focus on that. We want to focus on school and just making a difference for the University of Tennessee.
Today, Kelly Jr. is one of the young men in charge of patrolling the Tennessee secondary. The Vols have a lot of depth at the safety position, but Kelly says he likes the competition.
There's a lot of competition all over the field, and that's what we want. That's what Coach Martinez wants. That's why you recruit. You want guys to come in here and compete, and, we're also friends, so it's pretty cool. We like to talk to each other whenever we make plays, and we congratulate each other as well. So, it's all a healthy relationship, and we love to just come out here and compete.
Kelly has impressed coaches this spring, even earning the gold lockdown chain one practice for his spectacular performance. Tennessee head coach Butch Jones has high praise for his sophomore safety.
TK is very mature, very confident, and I like his approach, and he brings a workmanlike mentality every single day.
Vol fans and opponents alike should keep their eye on number 6 this season. That shouldn't be a problem, as he's a player that likes to make his presence known. For Journalism 365, I'm Riley Duncan. Everyone knows that Tennessee football has a very passionate fan base. It's a program that can attract more than 100,000 fans on any given Saturday in the fall. One Tennessee player got a taste of the spectator side this spring when unexpected adversity struck and he had to watch from the sidelines.
Emmanuel Mosley came to campus weighing just 145 pounds. He's since put on 33 pounds and was able to keep it on despite a crazy spring. On March 14th, Mosley and his family were driving to Newborn, North Carolina for a family vacation. The next thing Mosley knew, the car he was in had been totaled.
Yeah, well, I'm real lucky, we just got to give all thanks to God and just glad that everyone is okay.
Less than 2 weeks later, Mosley was diagnosed with mono, an illness that can drain your energy and cause you to lose weight, a big concern for Mosley.
Yeah, well, I lost a little bit, but I started eating with Coach Ike. They put me with him, and I gained all the back. So.
Though Mosley missed a few weeks of practice, teammate Evan Berry says he didn't lose a step.
Hasn't missed a beat. I was surprised he came out and, had 3 interceptions. He's been going to the meetings with us. He hasn't really got the physical work in, but mentally he's there. And as you can see on the last practice physically, he's there as well.
It's been a tough spring for Emmanuel Mosley, but he has pushed through and is excited to get back to the game he loves. For Journalism 365, I'm Riley Duncan.
Hey, I'm Shaquille Jones, and this is Riley, reporting live from Journalism 365.
A busy weekend on Rocky Top. The Tennessee football team is nearing the end of spring practice, and many fans are really looking forward to what this team may do in the fall. We're in year 3 of the Butch Jones regime at Tennessee, and there are some very high expectations as the Vols are picked by many to compete for an SEC East crown this coming season. For his part, Butch Jones says, slow down.
For our young players, which really that's most of our football team, it's just an overall consistency. It's their consistency and approach. It's the intensity that it takes to perform at a high level every time you step onto the football field or step into the meeting room, and they're still learning that process.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating just because, we want to be the best, and whenever things aren't clicking, then, you just have to kind of keep the guys mentally, just continue to keep going. You can't let them get down on themselves, and, some of the younger guys tend to do that.
The Vols have just 5 more practices left in the spring before the orange and white game on the 25th. Rick Barnes couldn't pitch the Lady Vols to a win against number 1 LSU on Saturday, but they're trying to do it without him today. In the second, down 1-0 with a runner in scoring position, it's Gretchen O'Coin with a base hit down the right side, and that'll score Annie Aldretti, tie the score at 1. Into the third, Lady Vol is now down 3-2. 2 runners on for Annie Aldretti. She connects to left field to clear the bags with a 3-run home run, and that'll make it a 5-3 lead. Same score in the fourth. This time it's going to be Lexi Overstreet who gets a hold of one. She pulls it out to right, a solo home run, and that would end up being the winning run as the Lady Vols do get 1 of 3 from number 1 LSU. 8-5 the final in that one. The Knoxville Ice Bears are just a few days from the President's Cup Final Series, the end of a long season, but the team says they've never felt better. The Ice Bears are 4-1 so far in the playoffs after knocking out Columbus in 3 games and Louisiana in just 2. Now it's on to the title round, but the team they're playing, Mississippi, had a bye in the semifinals, so the River Kings have had a week off while the Ice Bears have had little time to rest. You won't hear them complaining about it though, quite the opposite.
During the regular season, it's just a big grind. You get worn down a little bit, both physically and mentally. There's a little bit of fatigue on both sides, and I think that the playoffs has really just re-energized us a little bit. We kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, and guys are playing with a little more enthusiasm. The closer you get to your goal, obviously, the harder it is to give up. So we're a team that definitely doesn't want to lay down and die at all, and you can see that in our play right now.
The Ice Bears open up against Mississippi in Game 1 on Thursday night at 7:35 at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. The Ice Bears were 4-2 against the River Kings in the regular season. On to baseball. The Tennessee Smokies, they got 4 in the first and won 6-3 against Mississippi to improve it to 2-2 on the year. It'll be the same 2 teams tomorrow at noon. The Masters, obviously another big event this weekend. Jordan Spieth shooting 18 under, to win by 4 strokes. Quite the impressive performance by the 21-year-old.
Man, just very impressive. I believe that she'll be remembered in Masters history with such a great performance.
Definitely one for the record books. We'll go down with Tiger Woods as, the best 72 holes that's ever been played at Augusta. For Journalism 365, I'm Riley Duncan.
I'm Shaquille Jones.